right, so welcome tonight. And tonight we are doing a connection series, volume 2, session 2, writing your story. The leadership has written their story, and they are going to tell you a little bit about each of the pieces that we've put together and shared. We're going to start off with one of the co-leaders, Lynn Belcher, and talk to you about just a moment about the template, how we got started. Lynn?
Good evening. The template is basically just a guide to help you get through your story. And basically your introduction is going to be how you met, dating, getting married, your story, your experience, your journey together, moving, blended family, sharing important moments, and then a reflection, what you experienced along the way, married to a West Pointer, the friends you've made, the experiences you've had, the connections you've made, and then ending with today. What is your life now? What's your career, your family, hobbies? And if you'd like to end with a favorite quote, that would be wonderful as well.
Thank you, Lynn. Mary Lou. Mary Lou is our writings subject matter expert. She wants to talk to us about telling us what is important.
So when I started looking at this, it became very apparent to me that my story was going to be rather unique because I also served in the Army alongside my husband for the 20 years. And as I looked at that, it became very apparent to me that this is your story. This is our story, your story. You don't want to retell your husband's story. You want to tell your story. You want to tell us what was going on in your life as you were walking through this journey together with your West Pointer. You want to tell us what kind of hobbies you have now, because you probably didn't have any when you were a wife and a mother. But what kind of hobbies you have now. You want to tell us about you, your experience, and tell us about your journey through this and how you're connected to West Point if you are connected. If you're not, again, that's okay, but how you're connected. It's your story, you tell it.
Okay, I'm ready. All right. Thank you, Pam, and hello to everyone. Being married to Joe Durso for only 3 years, I don't have a typical West Point story like most of you, but that doesn't preclude participation in this grand and most worthy project. In 400 words or less, I briefly highlighted our 36-year journey from meeting to marriage, while both Joe and I traveled separate parallel paths that only sporadically and by chance converged. An initial chance program review meeting in 1986, followed by a chance Pentagon encounter 12 years later, followed by a same time next year relationship of just one annual football weekend for 18 consecutive years. And finally, marriage in 2022 by a priest initially reluctant to marry a widow and a couple so old as we. The last 3 years have been the best times of our lives, getting to know you, West Point, its glory and traditions, and especially embracing the friendships offered by the ladies of the class. And for Joe, reconnecting with many classmates of old and meeting ones he never knew as a cadet during his West Point years, largely because of the ladies of the class under Pam's tutelage and the many West Point events organized by our hostess with the mostest, Cindy Scott. My story definitely falls outside the box, but can serve as an example to a few others like me who are newcomers for sharing their stories. Threads of varied colors and lengths can weave into a most beautiful tapestry. I wrote my story the old-fashioned way, painful, 5 major revisions, but was blessed to have Joe as an excellent editor. Were I to do it over again, I would definitely learn how to utilize AI for assistance. I thank you, Pam, for your expertise, guidance, fortitude, and initiative in getting us all on the same page to bring this historical project to fruition and in such short order. It will serve as a worthy complement to the class of 77's.
All right, Diana and Jean. Diana?
Okay. When I started doing this, I don't want to get into the struggle business, but I started writing this, and after about 700 words, I realized that this was a very cathartic experience. And I'm sorry, this is a hard time for me. But what I really came back to when I started writing this, I wanted to say so much about our life together, what Roger went through to become a father, what West Point really wasn't part of our life. But at the very end, I finally got it down, and I decided to add a link to Roger's service, and specifically where our son is speaking, because he speaks so much of Roger and West Point and what it meant to us as a family. And so I was able to, I think I was able to share our life through that video, and I invite people to look at it just because I couldn't get everything down. But it was a hard thing to do, and it was very meaningful, and I appreciate doing it.
Thank you, Diana. Jean?
Okay, well, when I started doing my story, I had a challenge because I wrote Steve's portion for the guys. So trying to not repeat things and stuff like that, it was a little more challenging, but I made it more about me and the family and all that. So I just tried to remember things that Steve brought to me from his experiences at West Point. So it was really good. I probably went way over my 400 words, but through the AI app, Pam was able to condense it down and made it very nice and short, sweet, and to the point. So it was appreciated, and I've enjoyed doing it too.
Thank you, Jean. Okay, Lynn. So how did you get started?
I started with bullets of like trying to remember what happened in our career, and then I had Bob look at it, and I wrote up my little thingy. I have a book with memory items from the military, which I dug out, and then I let it sit for like maybe a day or two, and then I came back. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to write that or whatever. But I ended up writing a page and a half, sent it to Pam. She did her wonders with AI. And that's how I ended up with my story.
Thank you, Lynn. Sheila, how did you get started?
I just thought about it for several days of what I wanted to put in there. And I stewed on it for probably a week. And then I sat down and I just read it or wrote it, and then just changed things around and added some things. And I just wanted to, it's really hard to do when you've been together over 50 years, to put everything down there, but some of the key points of it.
Well, thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome.
All right, Cindy, tell me how you struggled.
Okay, I volunteered to do the struggle part because for me, like others have indicated, it was a matter of taking all those years and putting them into one page. I started writing and wrote for hours, realized I had 6 pages too many, and just put it away. Went to bed, woke up in the middle of the night, thinking about how am I ever going to get this story written in this condensed version, scrapped what I did, redid it more following Mary Lou's guidance of following me versus each of our 20 moves that we had. You had to group things together, and you had to be much more general while still including everything. And then when I got it to kind of a reasonable thing, I did send it to Pam, and Pam did use the AI magic, which gave us 3 choices. And I happened to like the one, and so that's the one she picked. And in the end, as much struggle as it was, and as much sleep as I lost over it, when I read it back now, it's pretty cool that I did it. So I encourage you to get through the struggles and get to the finished product. You'll be glad.
Thank you, Cindy. Jenny.
So I'm just going to say a lot of what the other gals have said. I wrote my story, which is really different than Bob's, even though it was a 50-year journey together. And I knew what I wanted to communicate. So I wrote and I edited and I edited and edited and edited. And the thing that helped me the most was at the bottom of the Word document that I was using. And it had the number count down there for the words. And I would take out a couple of words, and then it became clear to me where I could take out other things. But I kind of always knew what story I wanted to tell for me. That wasn't hard. It was fitting it all on the page. And I did it. I did it.
And it's great.
What's okay?
Thank you, Jenny. I am going to ask, did Mary Ann Durso ever make it in? If not, I will go ahead and I'm going to talk a little bit about first chat bot versus chat GBT. There's a lot of programs out there. Chat GPT, like Pam P. It is a true AI. It learns your voice, it learns who you are, and it learns from the things that you ask it to do. If you ask it to do a thank you or straighten up this, or it learns that I can't spell, and it learns that I struggle with some sentence structure. I write bullets and I say, can you make the sentences? Chatbot is a 2024. It is not a learning program. The algorithm is very simple, or the program itself is very simple, and it will just do what you ask. It won't change your voice. It won't learn your voice. So that's the one important thing to do. So I want to just teach you how mine knows how to do it. So I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. Hi, my name is Pam Warwick. Don't ever pay for anything. It will always ask you to upgrade. Do not upgrade. So just use a free version. And when you do use that free version, you will run out of chances, and it'll say, you'll have to come back in 8 hours. You've used too much today. And that's why it encourages you to buy. Well, the first thing I wanted to do is I pre-wrote some stuff, and I said, I would like to write a thank you to the ladies of the class, a class company representative for supporting company I3 mini reunion. We've been good friends for many decades, and I want it friendly and I want it sincere. And so I just do like that. She's thinking, and then she says, what about this? Thank you so much for your support of Company I3 Mini Reunion. Your encouragement, presence, and care help make the gathering feel even more special. We've shared good friends and good memories for many decades now, and it's moments like these that remind us just how strong and meaningful those bonds truly are. We're grateful for all you do, and even more grateful to walk this journey together with heartfelt appreciation. And so, just like that, and I'll say, now, write a more humorous version. And she knows I like a lot of kind of punk. So here it is right now. She changed it to a little bit of humorous. After all these decades of friendship, we've become a well-oiled machine, a little wisdom, a little mischief, and a whole lot of remember when. So it changes the tone just as you ask it. So another thing that you do is now I want to be a little bit more in depth, and I've done a lot of emails and those kinds of things. And I said, I'd like to write 100-word encouraging memo to ladies of the class to share their
Okay,
bio. All right, so this says write 100-word encouraging memo to ladies to share their bio, and I say what it's for. The story of the 53 Union Memory Book. Remind this is not a requirement, but a golden opportunity. It's another way to honor the husband and the classmates of the Long Gray Line. And so I just go doom, and there's the 100-word memo right there. And it says, ladies, for the 53 Union, we invite you to share your story. It's not a requirement, a golden opportunity. Each of us walk beside a member of the Long Gray Line, supporting, cheering, and doing your story in your own words is another way to honor your husband, classmates, friendships that help shape our lives. But that's it. I mean, if I said it's simple, it's simple. One thing to remember, ChatGPT, not chatbot or something else. Use a true AI. Don't pay for it. Like, I didn't do anything today because I didn't want to run out of chances. And it'd say, come back at 10:58 p.m. Anyway, but thank you. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I am going to open up the floor. Des, and you can all come off mute.
Okay, mine's all about the AI. So I've never talked to this chat, what is it? Chat.
GPT.
I wrote it down. If I've never talked to this thing before, how long does it take for it to understand my voice and how I really like to say things?
I would do 4 or 5 things, and then you can also say, use my voice, don't change the voice of this. Or and since Cindy and Lynn had written, 600 words, my account actually learned Cindy and Lynn's through the lengthy story. And I said, and I thought Lynn's was more conversational in nature, and so did Chat. Chat said, want it more conversational? Yeah. And then it asked me about Cindy's, do you want it a sentimental? I said, yeah, go ahead. Sentimental, an eloquent, and a conversational. Give me all 3 with Cindy. So then they could pick what they think is their best matches their voice. When I did mine in AI, actually to lengthen mine, I'm a bullet writer. I went through and I spent about 40 minutes and made sentences back to me. And, it was lovely, but it was way too structured, and then it wasn't my voice. But I changed the sentences and made it mine. But it was a really good fit for what I wanted to say.
So if I let's just say I start with a paragraph. I write a paragraph and I say, make this sentimental. I type the paragraph in and then they change it to sound more sentimental.
Yes.
Okay. And how many chances do I get? How often?
I think you get 10 chances a day, or maybe it's every 10 hours or something.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think I do 10 to 12, and then I'll say, I'll see you again at 10:58 p.m. Chat knows me really well now.
Okay. And can I write 600 words and say, make this 400 words?
Yes, you may. That's exact.
I'm going to have that problem too.
Yeah. And I'll share Lynn Richardson. Lynn had 670 something words. And I said, do not lose the events, tighten this up or polish it. And yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't pick and choose what to crop out.
No.
Can you clip it? Can you clip and paste? Like if I wanted to look, I didn't look at mine that way, but I'd like to see what it would do. Can I just copy and paste into that thing and then it
Oh,
would?
that's what I do. That's
Oh, did you?
why,
Okay.
yeah, that's why I wrote some stuff on a Word doc and I thought, okay, what can I do tonight that's really fast so you could see how it works? And I just said, I want to thank you for this, this, this. Here's the company. Oh, yeah. And we've been friends for a really long time. Then it was too serious. And I said, make it humorous and remember when that talks just like Paula, Anna, and Sheila.
Can you hear me? Can you?
Irene,
Yeah.
I hear you pretty well.
Okay. I wanted to say, how do you access your Chat GPT? Because I've been using it and I've never had it tell me I was on there too long.
Let me go back and I'll just show you. It's a link and it's in. I will give you all the slides so that you can share the slides, share everything with your company, with anybody that you want to help with it. All right, back. All right, so it's chatgpt.com.
Because you know what? I access mine through my browser. I use what is it, Edge, and it just shows up at the top right, and I just click on the little symbol, and it just goes for a long, long time. It never says I have to stop.
Okay, if it doesn't stop, make sure that it is an AI program that the algorithm learns who you are, learns your voice, and it also does. And ChatGPT doesn't share your information. Now, Chatbot is a simple, and it's kind of like putting your stuff on Facebook. It would share.
Yeah, no, I'm sure mine isn't shared and it's stored. So it creates an archive that I can go back and look at conversations I've had with it.
Okay.
But I guess there's just a number of ways to access it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It also, I use it quite a bit, and it also has a memory for number of characters that are used.
Yes.
And it will slow down as you reach the threshold of the characters, the maximum characters. And what happens when it reaches the maximum characters is it often will continue, but it forgets what you wanted. So it will start putting in different things or leaving things out that you had in your original directions. And I reach that threshold because I use it. People are going to think I'm awful, but I use it for feedback to students. I will write my feedback or give it an outline of what I want the feedback to this student, and I'll give it a word count. I'll say, I want this in 100 words, because otherwise I will send my students 1,000 words of feedback and they won't read it. So I give them the outline of what I want, and then I go through what they want, what I want, and I edit it and put it in. What the students get ultimately is a shortened version of what I wanted. But if I don't do that, or if I put in too many of my original ones that are too long, it will start adding things in there that I'm not giving them feedback on.
Yeah.
So that might be what happens too.
Well, thank you, Linda. And using it, just remember it's a polisher and a trimmer, and to help you after you do what those first 8 ladies said to do, write your story. So something has to be, in the context, and whether you get out of bed like Cindy, that your story is waking you up at night, or it's something that you jot down in bullets. That's the piece that's personal, and that is going to bring this to make it the OSP project, the Our Stories project. So, sure, Mary Lou.
Yes.
I thought you had a question or.
Oh, no, I did not.
Oh, it was the teacher and me. You leaned forward, and I thought
I
it was your voice.
went and grabbed the Kleenex.
So
Pam will cut this out. That's great.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Pam,
Sure,
if
Linda.
I can.
Sure.
I'm in a little different situation than I think all of you are. I didn't meet Bill until after his military service was done.
Me too.
And so our experience is post-military and definitely post-West Point. But I can't see how his West Point experience and his military experience have impacted our relationship and our marriage, as well as our interaction with our blended families. And so I don't know if that's in line with a reunion memory
Yeah.
posting.
Mary Lou, do you want to respond to that?
Yes, I would tell you, Linda, it is your story, and your story is unique, but you are not the only one. If Marianne Durso had been here, she would have talked about the 18 dates that she had once a year for 18 years. And she's only been married for 3. And certainly he was beyond West Point and beyond his military career. But her story is just so sweet and so unique. And I am absolutely certain, Linda, that yours is exactly that way also. It's a special story, and I can't wait to read it.
We're sisters.
We're all sisters,
We are.
whether you want me or not.
Yeah.
We'll keep you, Jenny. We'll keep.
The one and onlys in the West Point. But there's some of us, like Jean and myself and others, we've lost our husbands. We have a very different thing that's going on. And we come to it from I told Pam, I said, I don't want to be the widow of the class, but there's a lot of us, and our stories are there too, and they are personal, and we want to share them.
Absolutely.
All right. So, words to the wise that you want to share to your company reps that you would like on this video. Because I want to send it out to all of them. What would you want all of them to hear in the whole class?
You feel great when it's done.
Great.
And you don't realize how connected we really are once you start reading those stories. You really, I mean, even if we weren't the military wife or whatever, we really do have things that we are very in common with, and I think that's important.
I think they should take their time writing these
Yeah.
too.
And don't get intimidated. I mean, just take your time, put it away for a couple days, go back. Don't rush it. Just take your time.
I agree, but I want to hear their story.
Well, you will eventually. Patience.
I know.
I sent out a memo to the ladies in 4th Regiment and to the company reps, and I said, you don't need to do anything yet because we're going to do a launch really to the rest of the ladies in January. But I said, use this time to write your own story so that you're better prepared to answer questions and offer help and guidance as needed.
That's a good
So
idea.
write your stories.
What do we do with them once they're written? Do we just send them to Pam?
What a great
Yes.
Yeah.
Of
And
course.
she works her magic. Just send your story in a Word document and send your 2 pictures to, some people have sent 3, but 2 pictures to Pam, and she will just work her wonderful magic and you'll be so happy.
I love it. Pam put 3 pictures in, and I love it. It was our beginning, and then the final one. We're both firemen, so I thought I loved it. All 3 pictures she got
It's
in
a
there. So.
good, it was good. It was really good, Diana.
I have a quick question. Are you going to send like a template to say what type font and all that you want? How many words? Just you're going
Yeah,
to
it's all that.
Okay,
There is a word count though.
right.
What is it?
400.
400.
I thought it was 600.
That's hard.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But don't let the word count shut your writing fluency down.
Write it first.
Write it first.
Yep.
And then you do some trimming, go through and say, and run-on sentences are fine because we can ask, then you can ask chat for structure only. But yeah, write first. Don't let the word count hurt you. And I write very factual and very short and very bullets. So you do that first too. And if you write on the screen a lot, write on the screen. If you develop on paper, develop on paper. Don't change your style. And I'm not allergic to any font, anything. Tony.
Since we haven't written ours yet, or those of us who haven't written it, I'm thinking for me anyway, it would be better if I did mine first. And then I won't have any ideas of how it needs to look or should look. And I don't want it to influence, what I want to do. I won't feel any pressure or requirement for it. It won't change than what I would normally write about myself anyway.
And don't open the email, right?
Right.
I did the same thing.
I didn't want to know any of those yet. I want to be surprised, but I want the weight of the responsibility of doing my own off of my shoulder. That being said, Pam, so you said if we don't want to learn any of this chat thing, we can just type it and send it to you, and you'll do all the magical. Okay, that sounds good.
He did that for me.
Well, I did not. That being said, I'm not planning to write this week.
I did not use any AI program. I wrote mine and edited.
Right. Me too. I'm thinking because I'll get frustrated trying to use that for the first time ever. Because
Don't do anything frustrating. And the moment you feel frustrated,
Walk away.
walk away from that right now.
Put it away and come back.
Yeah. Now,
If you take a breath too, it's a wonderful journey down memory lane.
Mhm.
I mean, it really makes you sit and think about, wow, I've forgotten all about that particular thing. So I think if you just kind of not take it, I won't say take it seriously, but not take it so seriously and just have fun with it and just express and tell your story, because it was, Pam knows I had a hard time getting started as well, but it's like once you start thinking about, my God, we were there and look at this, and just have fun with it and tell your story.
Mm-hmm. In other words, it's not freshman English composition, and it's like
no,
you haven't done it yet. Not that I'm speaking from experience or anything, but yeah, it's not like that.
no. And we collectively decided the only edit that we would ever make is a spelling. All right. I love you guys. This is the most meaningful thing that we've done yet. And there's still better things to come. And thank you so much, leadership team. And thank you, company reps.